So Kodak have just launched 2 brand new colour films. Or have they? Hey everyone, I'm Miles from Expired Film Club. Thank you for joining me for another video today. If you're new to the channel, please do like and subscribe, and leave a comment if you're excited about the brand new announcement that has just come out from Kodak saying that they are releasing 2 brand new colour films to the market. Very exciting for film photography enthusiasts like myself and probably like you guys watching, I would imagine. And it was announced as I'm recording this today on their Instagram. It got leaked a few days ago via some of the stores accidentally putting them up earlier than they should have done, so the Redditors obviously picked up on it and said, oh look, Kodak are launching a new film, which they've now announced. The details are a little bit hazy as of right now, but I'm going to try and summarize everything that I found out for you in this video, just to let you guys know what is happening and whether or not to be excited about these new films. So the new films are Kodacolor 100 and Kodacolor 200 in these very cool vintage looking boxes, which I personally am a big fan of. Obviously with the channel being called Expired Film Club, anything that harks back to those vintage film boxes is a win in my books. But the branding is only a part of this. Obviously, Kodak are launching these films and are trying to make it seem like they are brand new. Now, the thing is, that hasn't actually been completely confirmed. In the Instagram post they put out, I'm going to turn my attention to my computer screen over here to read it. The caption says, to help meet the growing demand for film, Kodak is excited to announce the launch of 2 color negative films, Kodacolor 100 and Kodacolor 200 in 135 format rolls, which means 35mm if you don't know. For the first time in over a decade, Kodak will sell these films directly to distributors in an effort to increase supply and help create greater stability in a market where prices have fluctuated. These films are sub-brands of existing Kodak films and offer the same high quality you've come to expect from Kodak. The launch is made possible by our recent investments that increased our film manufacturing capacity, and along with the introduction of our Kodak Super 8 camera and Kodak Ektachrome 100D color reversal film, reflects Kodak's ongoing commitment to supporting the long-term health of the film industry. Look for Kodacolor films initially in-store and online at photo retailers in the US and Canada. Learn more at kodak.com/go/film. So that's the announcement post from Kodak on Instagram, accompanied by a load of photos, which are obviously sample images of the film in use, and a little video of the boxes going through the factory. And it all looks great. Personally, I think that this is very exciting. Obviously, anything new and innovative in the film world is a good thing in my book. Now, obviously, the way to read into this is that they have said in the first sort of paragraph of this little post, to help meet the growing demand for film, Kodak is excited to announce the launch of 2 color negative films. It doesn't say new color negative films, which I think is a very important word to miss out in a post like this, because if they were brand new, I think they'd be shouting about it. So reading between the lines, and after doing some research into some of the other articles and stuff online from Petapixel and from Cosmo Photo, this looks to be Kodak basically rebranding 2 of their existing films, in my eyes. Kodacolor 200 is just going to be Color Plus, I think, and they've just rebranded it. I mean, it's always kind of been known as Kodacolor anyway, and if you have ever shot a roll of Color Plus recently, you'll see that the film canisters themselves say Kodacolor on them still. So I think that's pretty obvious that Color Plus is essentially just going to rebrand to Kodacolor, which is fine by me. You know, it's kind of fun to just bring a bit more excitement into shooting the film. And to be honest, I think Kodak Color Plus is one of the most underrated film stock out there. I love it. I kind of prefer it to Kodak Gold, to be honest. They're both 200 ISO, and Kodak Gold is a bit more expensive and you get that warmer tone, but honestly, I love shooting Color Plus. So the fact that it's rebranding and meaning that there's going to be more production of it, hopefully, is a good thing in my eyes, but I don't think it means that it's a brand new film. The Kodacolor 100 is a bit more ambiguous because the current 100 ISO color film that Kodak produce is Pro Image 100. And again, I'm a massive fan of it. Again, I think it's a massively underrated film stock, to be honest. But that's a little bit more expensive, hence the name Pro Image. And these Kodacolor 100 and 200 films are retailing at less than the cost of a Kodak Pro Image roll currently. So it's either that, or obviously they do produce Kodak Portra 160, which is 160 ISO, but I think the Portra range is going to be separate to all of this, and I think that that will stay in its little section of the Portra side of Kodak. So I think the Kodacolor 100 could just be rebranded Kodak Pro Image. There's also talk online about it maybe being the same film stock that Lomography use for their Lomography 100 color film that they sell themselves, which is also rumored to be an old Kodak stock anyway. So it could just be that they're taking and put it in some Kodak branding. We won't know this until a little bit into the future, but I think basically these two films are not brand new films. They're just going to be rebranded films that are currently available on the market. Take that as you like. I think it's cool, and obviously it's nice to have a bit of a refresh sometimes with the branding. I know that Kodak have gone through a bit of a refresh of all of the boxes for their film stocks recently, their color stocks anyway, which I'm not a huge fan of, to be honest. I think they look a bit clean and modern and boring, which is where I think these Kodacolor boxes are cool, because they look a bit more retro, a bit more funky, a bit more vibey, which I know it sounds stupid, but when I'm shooting a roll of film, the box design and the canister design is quite important to me. It just adds to the aesthetic, I guess. And although it shouldn't, it does. And so I do think it is kind of important. Anyway, I'm going to go over to my computer screen here again and read some of the article that Petapixel has put out on this, which is actually the day before Kodak officially announced that these films are going live. And this again was because it went live on one of these camera websites online. Anyway, it was Unique Photo who initially listed it, and I think they probably put it up a day too soon, so they probably got a slap on the wrist from Kodak for doing that. But either way, it says that they are selling a roll of 36 exposures for $9.50. That's US dollars, and if you convert that into pound sterling, because I'm from England, that comes out to about £7.05, which I think sounds like good value to me, and that's actually less than I think any film stock that I'm aware of that Kodak sell currently from the places that I normally get them from. So that's great. So I'm going to read this article verbatim, just so that you know a bit more info about the film itself, coming from a very reputable source. So Petapixel say, the photo retailer, which is Unique Photo, who put this online a bit early, states that the daylight balance ISO 100 film offers fine grain and high detail, along with a natural color palette with pleasing skin tones and medium contrast. The retailer notes that the new film is an ideal choice for analog landscape, portrait and travel photography, particularly in bright daytime conditions, which is logical given its 100 ISO speed. As Analog Cafe reports, some photographers are speculating that Kodacolor 100 may be the same or similar film to Kodak Pro Image 100, which remains available despite rumors of its demise a few years ago. And I have heard about this as well. Pro Image is not a very popular film stock by Kodak. Again, I think it's underrated. It's actually fantastic, and I've managed to get some really good deals at Analog Wonderland. There's a link in the description to use them if you'd like to, for getting some 5-packs of Pro Image. In fact, I've got plenty in my film fridge behind me here. Don't know whether you can see them there, but they offer some very good deals on those, and I've always really enjoyed shooting it. Obviously the 100 ISO means you've got to do it in bright daylight, but I love the color palette of that film. Compared to Kodak's very popular Ektar 100 film, Kodacolor 100 promises a more natural appearance, which may make it better suited for certain applications where subdued tones are desired. Kodacolor 100's saturation is described as restrained, whatever that means. There are a couple of exciting things to consider here as well, not the least of which is that Kodak has announced its first new film for a very long time, which is true, excluding the company's new Vision 3 film structure, which is cinefilm for Super 8 and for Hollywood motion pictures and stuff like that, which launched in August. For new photographic film, Kodacolor 100 is novel. Although the resurgence of analog photography has led to some new film stocks hitting the market, major players like Kodak and Fujifilm have been relatively quiet when it comes to releasing new stocks, which is true, and it's actually something that I've been kind of disappointed with over the last few years, is that the two kind of biggest players in the film game, previous to its kind of resurgence in the last few years, have not really been releasing many new films, or any, to be honest. So even if this is rebranded, I think it's exciting because it means that Kodak are looking forward and looking to the future, and like they said in the post, it's showing off their increased ability to produce film. All of this is great because obviously an increase in production units means hopefully they'll be able to sell them for a bit less cost, and in fact some of the retailers that are now starting to show up with these new Kodacolor films are offering bulk discounts, and it just means that they're willing to invest into this resurgence of film photography, which is great because previous to now Kodak seemed to be kind of not ignoring it, but they didn't really seem to be paying a lot of attention to how much people were shooting film again and were releasing kind of weird little trinkets and stuff like that, but not actually anything relating to real film photography in my eyes. I love Kodak stuff, so I'm really excited to see this happening. So the Petapixel article also goes on to say that the packaging for Kodacolor is fascinating. Unlike Kodak's other films, which predominantly feature the Kodak professional branding and falls under the umbrella of Kodak Alaris, the Kodacolor packaging features the classic Eastman Kodak logo and aesthetics. It's much more retro and frankly looks much more appealing than Kodak's other film packaging, and I 100% agree. It's very cool, it's very retro, it's vibey. It just is vibey. It's good. The article ends by saying, although Kodak has not done any press rollout for its new Kodacolor 100 film, although I suppose the Instagram post, which was posted after this article, kind of counts as that now, nor released extensive details about exactly what this new film is and whether it's a rebranded version of an existing film stock, any new film release is exciting news for analog photographers. And again, I totally agree with that. So on the Kodacolor 100, there's an article on Cosmo Photo as well, which goes into a little more detail about the look of the film. It says here it's designed to produce a natural, true-to-life palette. Greens are clean, skies are reliable medium blue, and skin tones render warmly without excessive saturation. At 100 ISO, grain remains subtle, allowing fine details to shine, great for enlargements and high-resolution scanning. The film's contrast is balanced, offering good separation in midtones, while retaining smooth highlight roll-off in bright sun. And it says that the listing's information appears to come from an official Eastman Kodak document, which is interesting. We might have some insiders doing some digging for us, which is great. It also goes into more detail on the Cosmo Photo article, saying there is no mystery about what this film is, talking about the Kodacolor 200. Unique Photos listing describes this as Color Plus 200. The listing said Kodak Color Plus 200 is the closest thing to truly vintage that Kodak has to offer. Based on older film technology, Color Plus offers a wide dynamic range, subtle color, and very low grain, blah, 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 blah. So it does look like that the Kodacolor 200 is definitely going to be Color Plus rebranded. So how do you feel about these new announcements from Kodak? I'm very excited. I'm really excited to give them a try. Hopefully I can get access to some of them a little bit early and maybe see if I can shoot some test rolls around and about and show you here on the channel the results I managed to get with them. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. Are you going to buy some of this new Kodacolor film? Are you excited by their new investment into this? And do you think it's just going to be rebranded existing Kodak film, or do you think they've gone for a totally new emulsion? I think it's going to be rebranded stuff, which is a little bit of a shame, but I do think this could be the first step into Kodak then going on and releasing new films, brand new color films like we've seen with other companies in the recent past. On the Instagram post, they obviously showed a load of test photos as well, which I think look really cool. And again, I do think it looks a lot like a Color Plus and Pro image palette, particularly the second to last slide on the carousel, which is a look that I have got a lot of times recently shooting Pro image in those sort of bright environments, and it's very cool. It's like, it's warm, but it's not too over the top, it's kind of muted. I love the vibe. And I do think as well, the very first image they've chosen to show of the little dog poking its head out the window, that looks like it was shot on Color Plus, to my eye anyway. So that could well be the Kodacolor 200 film. But either way, exciting news. So that's all the information on the new Kodak films as it's coming in, and I'm very excited. I hope you are as well. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on this and whether you'll be copying yourself a couple of rolls. I certainly will be, and testing them out. I might do a comparison between them and the films they're rumored to be rebrands of, just to see if they are definitely exactly the same. So look out for that on the channel soon. And if you've got any ideas about what you think I should shoot or do with them, let me know in the comments as well. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed. Do like and subscribe if you have. My name is Miles from Expired Film Club. If you want to follow me on socials, all my links are in the description. And if you want to pick yourself up some film and developing and cameras and all that sort of stuff, all my favorite places are down in the description as well. So go and get yourself some film or some cameras or some developing if you fancy it. Also, let me know in the comments if you enjoy this style of video. This is a bit different to what I've been doing recently on the channel. Apologies for my absence, by the way. I've been traveling like an absolute maniac recently, so I'll do some updates on that soon too. But if you like this kind of more like informal video where I'm just chatting about stuff, I might do these semi-regularly on the channel now when there's exciting stuff that happens. So let me know in the comments if you enjoyed that as well. Otherwise, I'll see you for another video very soon indeed. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and I'll see you later.